WegoodHop, creator and founder of Musical Chairs, and we on Reema Live.
Joanna, your busy body busy tonight. Joanna, making all the dummy tonight. Joanna, your busy body giving me life, oh, hey life, hey. How you do me like Joanna, Joanna? How you do me like Joanna, Joanna?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Reema Live, and today we have in the building Mr. Hop. Hop, what's up?
Hop,
What's
How
up,
y'all feeling?
Hop?
I'm chilling. I'm glad to be here.
Man, I ain't seen you like over it.
It's been a long time
He
since it
been
was
working.
warm before during the pandemic was the last time.
Yeah, we've been inside. Well, I've been inside. You've been working. You've been in
streets.
overtime, and I'm so glad, y'all. I'm so glad I could get him here because scheduling among creatives is insane. And if you know Hop, you know he be out here working events every week. And I'm so glad I get to talk to him about what he does, who he works with, and what he's into. So, without further ado, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell people a little bit about you, background-wise, city, you know what I'm saying, here in the city-wise.
Okay.
Reintroduce yourself to people that already know you.
My name is, is Aaron. They call me Hop. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin originally.
Okay.
Ended up coming to Chicago to go to Columbia. Graduated from Columbia in 2014 with a degree in music business, also minored in marketing. From there, just kind of stayed in the city. During my college tenure, I was managing a band. They went by the name of She, and they transformed into Highness or the Highness Collective.
Okay.
So it was an all-female band. Went from about 9 to 5 members, so that kind of gave me a good start and solidification of the scene. And then just able to figure it out from there. Just being blessed to get in at dope venues like the Promontory and work there and learn, and then transform that into doing events.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of led me to starting a brand called Fine As Friends. Just a dope party series that we do, just promoting
I still need
people.
a sweater.
And
I still need a sweater.
come shop. We got another one coming up on the 22nd of May. And
You doing a
also-
pop-up?
We're doing a pop-up at the Promontory. It's going to be a party,
Okay.
possibly a 2-part series party, so a day and a night party.
Okay.
And then we will be printing merchandise on
Them
site.
infamous day and night parties be lit, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta stop in. I'm sitting here like, I gotta politic more. I gotta be outside. So I'm like, a hot party be lit. I'm gonna start coming to Hop all his events and stuff. And they safe. They safe. It's never been a problem at one of his events. It's all love among everybody that's there.
That's a blessing for real.
Was it an easy transition, you feel like, getting into the entertainment? Did you feel like you got love off the gate, or was it like a hard kind of like penetrating, like trying to get in there?
It was a grind. For real, one of my first parties, nobody came to. It was at one of the first parties I did at the Promontory. It just so happened that it was on July 3rd.
Okay.
And so it was a good date, but nobody tells you that, hey, like Brewfest is going on outside in Hyde Park, so everybody's going to be outside.
Oh.
Nobody tells you that it's, 4th of July weekend, so this probably not the best.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm hiring, DJs and doing this and that and spending money to not make anything.
Because you got to spend money to make money, but like spend it strategically. Yeah, wisely. Yeah.
For real. So it most definitely was a grind. I had to kind of sit back and learn. So I'm thankful for my business partners, like, Dot Daily.
I love that.
Shout out to Dot. Shout out to John from 3D. Just being able to sit back and really learn from some dope individuals. Shout out to Jake at the Promontory, McKinney.
Okay.
The production side and all of that. So it's really smooth.
That's and it's good to hear that you have some sincere backing.
Yeah.
A lot of people have talked to people and they're like, man, I don't really got no, genuine people out here that fuck.
But gotta know and identify those people.
It's a learning curve for real. Like you really have to go through them trying times where like sometimes people don't genuinely, like they want to see you win, but they don't want to see you win past them. Yeah, they don't want to see you prosper past a certain point they comfortable with. So tell me about. Because I've been tuning in and I can't wait. I want to get some. I was like, infiltrate his stuff, but I was like, I want to get some behind the scenes and what he be doing or whatever. Tell me about Musical Chairs. Tell me. Oh, I want to get into
Musical Chairs is a platform. I call it like the Tiny Desk for the Midwest.
Okay.
It's just
That's cute. I like it.
it's a platform that we started for artists and performing artists to be able to come in and do some things, not necessarily in front of a crowd. It started during this pandemic, and it's been something that we've been cultivating for about the past year and a half, just messing around with it, tinkering it. So just allowing artists to kind of come on, do a song, maybe incorporate a live band or a DJ or something along those lines, while at the same time doing an interview. And we try to do a photo shoot as well to give an artist a rounded package.
That's a real trifecta right there, yeah.
And we don't, it's not something that we charge for. Like, it is literally to highlight artists and give them a spotlight here in the Midwest. And we really focus on artists in the Midwest or traveling through the Midwest. So for right now, it's really focused around Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, your Ohio, Indiana.
I was going to say, I ain't hear no Indiana.
Indiana for sure.
Like,
any Indianapolis artists, or Indiana artists, Gary, wherever, looking to come out and do something, please holler at me, because I really wanted to highlight that state, and in specific Indianapolis. For a fact, I got family out there, so I really want to put on.
That's great. Do you look for anything specific when you talent, or do you just like, you know what, I heard something and like you got it?
I'll look
or do you like have people submit and then you kind of pick through kind of things like that too?
We do submissions, and then I look for artists who are serious about their craft. So those who have content that you can find out on streaming services, those who have music videos out, a social media presence. A lot of those things you can do yourself without label help.
Preach.
And so if you're not willing to do that and
the work,
try to captivate your own audience, then there's no benefit for both of us, because it doesn't. The
marketing aspect don't work, and that's just being 100. It's never to diss. I think when people get offended when you tell them the business aspect of being an artist, being an entrepreneur, or anything, it's a whole business side. So it's not just talent and wanting to be creative. You have to really tap into how your EPK together, have your YouTube, your ASCAP. People
as
don't be
having
their ASCAPs.
Where can I find you? You know what I'm saying?
Where can my viewers find you?
Right. Like outside of just and then it's the
outside of SoundCloud.
Right. And it's the perception too. It's that basis too. If I'm talking to somebody who's on Apple Music or Spotify or Tidal, you've taken the time to figure out how to get on these platforms, which makes you more solidified, or I can take you seriously as an artist compared to you playing me stuff off your email talking about, let me, only on
check
YouTube
my rad music, bro.
It's nice to be able to have those platforms.
It's respectable.
Right,
it is respectable. And I think that's something that people don't take the time, because of how things go viral nowadays. People feel like you could just post something without actually having the business side all together. You can't just be posting stuff on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok especially. Y'all be abusing TikTok to go, you know what I mean, to be considered as a real artist.
And especially with platforms like ours, we primarily work off of YouTube. So I don't want to have to worry about your copyright royalties or us getting paid from you doing your song, because your business is not
together.
So if I know that this is a song that you have copyright claims on, and that will automatically, so your business is taken care of, so your United Masters, your TuneCores will go ahead and claim your copyright online because you've done your work. That makes my job a lot easier.
You're speaking like this has happened before. Has it happened?
Well, no, it is something that I have observed, and just no issues or problems, but to me, just thinking in the long run, it can cause things like that. If your business is not handled as an artist, then it messes up everybody else's business, and it impacts my business too. So
don't waste time. We can't waste time out here. We ain't got a lot of it, especially with the panorama.
Yeah, the panorama.
The Panasonic or whatever. I love the fact that it's also free of charge. And a lot of people who are coming up, that's a huge thing. Capital to do things, because you're already investing so much into your craft, to be able to be recognized and not charged for it. And while he's putting his finances into doing this, right? So giving you the platform that's free of charge is amazing, and I feel like that's something that we lack now. Just being able to give the opportunity to people to do their thing. And it's not just musical talent you do, or is it for right now just musical
It
presence?
is musical talent.
You do like spoken word stuff too?
I have that's been a consideration. I have a few artists who I also meet the same criteria as a musical artist within their spoken word, which I feel like will work on the platform. So I've been exploring that option too. I'm instrumentation. We've had people come on and play keys. I have some sisters out of Milwaukee, sisters out of Sister Strings. They do violin
That's dope.
and cello. You know what I'm saying? So
That's dope. I always wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Hand-eye coordination is fucked up. Can't do it.
Take practice, just a little practice.
I could do piano, which is crazy.
It's the same thing.
This, I can't with, like, I can't, y'all. Like, I can't, I even look awkward doing this. I should never do that again. But, like.
It's that Nick Cannon, right?
Right. Like. What was I saying? Basically, for me, the creativity, because I observe before I ever reach out to people, and I see how serious you are about your craft, and then from that to the events that you host. And tell me a little bit about R&B's, because I be peeping the scene, I'm like, it really looking lit. I need to come outside. You know what I'm saying? The street's been calling, I just ain't been answering.
Come through Persona. That's a good street to be on if you're gonna be outside, right on Wells Street. But R&B's was just a brainchild, sitting back in the promontory and just working the different styles of events and seeing how people theme their events, and the genres that they play. That kind of came just from sitting and observing that, wow, women love R&B music, right? Like, everybody knows the songs to every single R&B song, like, no matter, and then with Afro beats, you may not know the words, but you can't help but move. You can't help but move.
Shout out to D Money and Afrofusion later on today.
For a fact, and they play let them know all the whole time that they are a big inspiration in what we do. With R&B.
Yeah, they definitely some heavy hitters.
They're trailblazers, because nobody is really outside of them. Still, nobody is really dominating that Afrobeat space in a major city, in other major markets across the country.
Yeah, Chicago is definitely the place to, I feel like, to come for that,
but
that scene.
D Money travels to Atlanta and Houston, and I've even been to Milwaukee, my hometown, to do Afrobeats parties. So it really inspired me to see that this genre can translate to more than just here or just the African community, like the direct African community. You know what I'm saying? And African American.
And like, it all be love.
It's all, and that's what the brand is about. That's the tagline. It's a whole lot of love, because if you really look at both genres, whether it's love for your significant other, love for your country, love for your people and your culture, that's what most of the music is about. So just the party is a whole lot of love. Like,
it's like one big ass vibe.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it's one big ass vibe. Yeah. And to be able to, for people to come together, right, especially in a city like Chicago where violence is so prominent, and it be peaceful. Yeah. And it be love, and like you could literally feel the energy resonating off of people, where it's like, I fuck with you. Like, you don't even know this person. It's like, I fuck with you. And music brings people together like that.
Facts.
Especially the oldies. You know what I'm saying? In the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? When we was listening to music on LimeWire and YouTube.
Yeah. Bear share all
fucking
day.
Up the PCs and stuff. I would like to know, with Chair Musical, who's on your team? Because you know what I'm saying? It takes a team. It takes a village. It takes all that.
For a fact, with Musical Chairs, I have our videographer, Marius Rudd. He's a dope videographer here in the city. He's worked with numerous artists from Illy to Lajay.
Illy came through,
Jazz.
Dope singers.
Yeah, dope singers. My homies In and No, shout out to them. No Nights Off. That's how I found out about Marius, was through them. So he's been a major influential factor just within some of the things that y'all see, how we're able to translate that to YouTube, and just being able to just have that eye that sometimes I can't see, and then I
have somebody in the cut.
Yeah, for also part of his team is Ralph Santa. He's a great photographer and also just lighting director, and then he also helps on the film side as well. But so a lot of the photography that you'll see coming out of the brand is from him.
Shout out to them.
Crazy.
Your quality is great.
Crazy stills, and that was the focus too, is really finding those of quality who are willing to work, at the same time.
Building a team is a hard thing to do.
It is.
And you got a great team because I've seen the quality of your work and it's amazing. It's amazing.
And then shout out to Ademo. She does the sound for us as well and does a lot of our mixing and mastering.
Lady sound.
Yeah,
okay.
Lady engineers taking over.
Yes. I fucks with that. That is nice. That's refreshing.
Yeah.
That's refreshing. Do you feel like you would ever take this, because I know you said it's a Midwest thing.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you would want to branch out nationally to like involve other?
I would. We're currently working on some live shows underneath the brand too. So within that element, I would like to be able to branch out into other markets, other major markets. If that translates into me setting up shop to be able to do some, production in maybe Atlanta or Houston or LA, and that would be great. But I do also want to focus on the traveling through the Midwest element too, because a lot of artists stop here. So this is a place to come to do things like this. There's no reason why we should have to look outside of our city or our region for resources, and people should be clamoring to come to our region and our city for resources. So I fuck with that, and that's really nice to actually hear. You just made me check myself, because I'm like, man, I gotta get out of Chicago. And I'm like, you know what? No, I gotta get people to come to my city. Figure out how you can eat here.
Right?
That's always everybody's goal is to. I mean, coming up in Milwaukee, that's everybody's goal is to always get out of Milwaukee. Being here has allowed me to see people's love for their city.
Oh, it's no place like here.
It's no place like, and especially just how, like, if you're not from here, like, Chicago really don't rock with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, because you won't understand here. It's a mentality. But
it also made me appreciate being back home in Milwaukee and the culture that we have, because it could be that same thing.
That's why I love how you come around like the different cultures, and like especially you, like I think one of the first time I think I seen you was during an Afrofusion I think event, and I was like, okay, they politicking, and you know what I mean? Like everybody kind of like from Chicago, no matter what denomination you are, we fuck with each other.
Exactly.
Like we fuck with each other. We embrace each other's like music, food.
Yes.
We embrace each other's food, because
yes.
you know what I'm saying? We gonna have the whole Niger versus, because I'm Ghanaian or whatever. We gonna have that jollof debate off camera, so he can tell, because I know he won't tell the truth on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Man. I don't know about that one, but okay.
Oh yeah. Please don't flat that.
Okay.
Anywho.
I digress.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be a whole challenge after this. Okay, over a good blunt.
Man.
But I want to know what the hardest part about being an entrepreneur and breaking into this industry, and honestly, still continuing on this journey, has been for you. And what advice would you give to somebody wanting to break into event hosting and businesses that have to do with music and entertainment?
Gotcha. Challenges. Just encouraging yourself even when things are bad. You know what I'm saying? It don't seem like everything working out. This event canceled and this artist pulled out of musical chairs all in the same week, and then
put your brother
we not the capacity for this event that we throw on a weekly basis. It was cracking, but it wasn't like normally cracking.
It be the capacity word for y'all in these events. It's like, is it the numbers? Like,
right.
It's the numbers.
It's a numbers game for real. Like, so just those elements are always challenging. It's something that always will happen. So you have to be able to stay encouraged throughout the whole process. And then consistency. Really, like that's the biggest thing is consistency and having your stuff organized. Like, so like when you come in to present, to do your shows or do your, or have done some research or have asked some questions, or even just be willing to listen, you know what I'm saying? Because you may not know, and it's like, well, no, that don't cost that much, or we can't necessarily do that like you may see on TV, or just different
everything
things.
on TV is not factual, and everything you might Google is also not. It does not apply to everybody. So right,
for real. It's just being able to move on your toes and roll with the punches.
You got some major don'ts for people.
Don't feel entitled.
Right.
Like, nobody owes me.
That's like the word of the year.
Yeah, nobody
alignment
owes
and
me
entitlement.
anything at all. I don't ever feel. It's always surprising to me just to hear people correlate me with events here in Chicago. Like, I'm not even necessarily from here. Like, I've been here for 10 years, so I'm from here. My ID's from here.
Oh yeah, you adopted.
Yeah,
you damn near
by now, right?
Right, you rooted here now, like 10 years. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just. I guess I like appreciate those who don't feel like anybody owes them anything, you know. And if we have capacity, G, don't hit my phone asking me to continuously get you in.
That must be the biggest pet peeve among event hosting,
it puts us in such
entrepreneurs.
A tough position, man. Because it's like, you're my homie, so you know I'm gonna go hard for you. But at the same time,
especially
I gotta
now, y'all don't do it now. Especially
you know,
like it's a pandemic,
right?
He can't.
And I gotta go hard on the owner of the establishment who I'm doing business with and who's telling me no to press it. You know what I'm saying? And then
it's an uncomfortable exchange after that, and it's not fun for nobody involved because now you gotta like strong arm some shit in order to get what you want. And they like, I said no, right. And then I can get fined if I say yes. Right. And if something goes wrong,
then I'm losing my club. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
And
that opportunity
you can go home.
Fucked up for everybody. Yeah. Like now, nobody gets the party. Nobody's gonna come and ask you like, "Oh, you was the person who wanted to get it." No, they're gonna blame him. Like we ain't got R&B and fun. You know what I mean? Man. Like all these opportunities. Like don't take away the fun we got. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Those are my major don'ts. I would say.
What are your major do's? That's something you advise, like tapping into this, something that you must do.
Be willing to help others and like not look for the benefit from it. Like just be willing to give. Like some of your major.
What is something somebody could give you right now that
I mean, just
if they wanted to be a contributing factor?
Time, a post. You know what I'm saying? Like
genuine love.
That goes such a long way. I mean, even just come RSVP for a party or buy a ticket. You know, like
buy a bottle. I'm just throwing
I mean that too. You know what I'm saying? All that help. You know, like, everybody budget different. You know what I'm saying? Some people can spend that $10 to $30, and some people got that $300 to a stack. So
the young pizzle.
If
you got, I saw the list, y'all.
Don't go into debt over me, G.
I saw the list.
Don't go into debt.
Some of y'all ain't also, but anyway, I'd like to ask about upcoming events because this is a pandemic and things are starting to open. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What are our capacity limits gonna change for your events? Are venues gonna switch up for your events, or is it kind of like set where it is?
From what I'm hearing and seeing,
I want to go outside.
Me too. I would, from what I'm hearing and seeing, that with people getting the vaccine, that is influencing government to possibly open up and expand the capacity limits. So that's a good and encouraging sign, right? Right now, we're looking at like 50 people, you know, about per event, give or take. You know,
in sections, y'all.
In sections.
We can't touch each other yet.
Well, you can touch each other in the section.
Yeah, with your party, but we ain't out here like.
You can't be at the bar. It ain't really, you know, like come with people who you will have a good time with.
Have you had a good time with that at your venues, or have you had like trouble just maintaining that kind of order?
It's a different vibe for people, and one that people don't understand right away. So. It's challenging, especially when you speak to some of these club owners because they kind of put the responsibility on you to speak to your guests.
Get your security.
You know, but no, and that's the thing too is security will do it, but you know, like sometimes I may be entertaining a large party within my area or my section of the club that night, and so. Outside of security, it is on me to make sure that my guests are aware to stay in this area.
When alcohol is involved, child.
Everybody loses that
discretion,
right,
child.
That cognitive.
Like what you mean? I'm not even like you know us.
I have to be on the carpet, so like right here, I'm good. I'm good right here. No, how about not? I'm not okay. So right here, I'm good.
Like literally walking the thinnest line to still be able to do what they were doing. Man. Do you have anybody that you want to work with specifically? And I don't mean just talent wise. I mean like even on a like creating an event together, because there are some dope people in the city that put together, and they'll be behind the scenes. People be the ones that make it happen.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm willing to work with any and everybody, honestly, as long as it makes sense and it's genuine. But that's not the thing.
No. It's for me,
you
right?
know?
For me, right? I had to learn this because I used to be like, it has to make sense, literally CENTS.
Yes.
SEN, because in order for me to grow capital, it's unfortunately, but a lot of creatives lack capital to be able to elevate. So it's like we can make sense and make sense together.
Yeah.
So both the sense. But I don't know money hungry like.
At that same point too though, like, cause I get that it may be your idea that you want me to come in and do some, behind the scenes work with as well, but make the percentages make make sense at the same time. Build value for me just as I would build value for you, So I think that's my main thing is to be able to one, understand and it makes sense as far as what you're trying to translate and how I can help.
Are there any big events you want to be part of that happen in the city? Like,
I love the festival scene. I've been working in one of the world's largest music festivals back in Milwaukee called Summerfest since I was about 15.
That's dope.
It's also where I met McKinday and kind of how the promontory worked out.
I gotta come through to that.
Yeah, no, you should. It's 7 consecutive stages all running at the same time. I've gotten a chance to work everybody from Wiz Khalifa to Lil Uzi. I see, Janelle Monáe for free. I can get, I'm able to.
That must be a vibe.
Take my cousins to rock concerts and my aunts to, Charlie Wilson and just different things like that. It's a blessing to be able to do and impact your family at the same time.
Who's somebody you want to see in concert you haven't seen?
Wow, a lot of my favorites I've seen. I want to see Drake.
Okay.
I would love to go to Beyonce production just because I hear that it's grand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she put a lot into
it. Yeah. I've been to Jay-Z, so that was one of the cross off the bucket list. So Beyonce, Drake, I would say are my two major top ones that I probably haven't seen. Every chance I get, Cole is one of my favorite artists, so every chance I get, I go see Cole.
Let's say not with us technically anymore. Who would you have seen?
Sheesh. Shout out. Most recently DMX, Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
I really wish I really got a chance to see a Nipsey show, man. Like that really hurt. Of course, yo Biggie's, yo Tupac's.
Right, the greats.
Shock G, most recently too, rest in peace. But that was like my OG, my mom, and we're not our generation is not too far from each other. It was in my case, so like really that Humpty Dance and Hump Day and everything is just.
I'm not gonna do it now because y'all don't want to see that, but like I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, so that would even be another performer who.
You know who I wanted to see?
Mike. My bad. Mike Jackson.
Yo, in his prime? Look,
even at 50, I was
even
still
at 50, if he would have, I would have did this whole toe. Okay. Like, no, for real. But, nobody talks about it anymore. Speaker knockers.
Okay.
I feel like he was ahead of his time when he passed. Especially for the music that's coming out. Speaker knockers, I feel like, would have been lit.
Speaker knockers would have been lit.
Especially festival type scenes and all that. Like, it would have been
gathering people.
Yeah, it would have been so intense. And I'm like, I was listening to it in my car. I'm like, man, it's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like that, it's gonna happen, but it's so permanent.
And it's crazy at a young age like that too.
And elevating, like, cause he was literally like here, and it was like cut short.
I don't know what. And he has a big Milwaukee following too. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to.
It's the speaker. That was iconic. Like you could just
the tag. Yeah. Crazy.
It'd be the tag. Joseph, y'all.
And the beat making, and to be able to translate that into rap too, because he made a lot of beats for I believe like Gucci and a couple other people.
He was a talented soul.
Yeah,
he was a talented soul. I'm gonna say Pop too, just because of the raw, just the like of the voice people used to make fun of it, but I'm like, you don't understand how raw talent that is, just to have that gimmick about you in your essence as a person.
I didn't get it until after he passed. I listened to the album and I was like, dang, he was so young. Had it.
He was like 20. Yeah. I was like, damn, where the voice Like, you must have broke puberty at like 12.
He had it. Like, just even but like also to understand how to control the voice though. Like, that's the main thing, is to control and to hear where to take it in, where not to take it in. Let me do this. So let me, like, that's so unique. Like, people don't just, that's not something that you can learn.
And this is coming from somebody, I love to have conversations with creatives that are, I was telling my last guest this, that are so diverse and multifaceted in nature, and be able to have like the fun, goofy conversations and the intellectual depth of, you know what I mean? And I'm so glad I'm able to have that with you as a business owner, as somebody that's in the scene that can actually advise me as somebody that wants to interview people.
True.
And work with artists and go to events and things like that. I look up to Hop.
True, I appreciate
in an entrepreneur and a creative sense.
I appreciate it.
And I'm so glad that you could come through. And it's crazy because he's actually going to another event after this. And I might follow him there.
Hey, shout out to Afrofusion, man. Me in Chicago, tap in. For real.
Man, tap in for real. For real. I can't wait to have them here. I'm going to get them here too. D-Money,
DIS,
3K,
DIS
Matrix,
Entertainment.
Y'all coming through.
Yeah.
I've been asking people, what is something that you live by? What's your mantra to keep going in this journey through your creativity?
Do unto others as you want to be done unto you. For real, for real.
Do unto others. That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, treat people with respect and love and honor, and I mean, hopefully it's reciprocated. Sometimes it's not, and even in them moments, still push past with that love,
Yeah. That's a good one. Well, thank you so much.
Of course, man.
For coming through. I'm giddy, y'all. I'm happy. It's been a good day. It's all love. And remember to do unto others as you would want done unto you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Reema Live once again.
Shout out to Reema.
Oh, that's it. Peace.
Yo.